All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 860 on this beautiful Wednesday evening. It is a great night to learn something about something, and tonight we got a good one. I think it's ripped from the headlines, as they like to say.
That is true.
We're going to talk about markets.
Indexes.
There you go. We're going to learn about the indexes. It's on every single exam. We're going to make it fun because you know why? Because we like to have fun. And that's what these nighttime sessions are about, is about fun, learning, having a different way to look at this stuff so that way you remember it and relating it, because that is the key to retaining it. And if you can retain it, you can relate it. Guess what? You'll see it on the exam and you won't be scared. You'll know exactly where to go. I think that's one of the main problems with when you go read an LEM or some of these things. It's so dry, it's so disconnected, and you're just like, I don't even understand how this relates to me in any way. You know, it's just so not anything I know or talk about.
Elusive.
It is, and sometimes it gets a little bit intimidating,
Daunting.
overwhelming,
Frustrating.
all those words and adjectives. You know what I mean? So we want to take that little bit of that sting out of there and then make this enjoyable so that way we can have a good learning experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, my name is Andy. I'm the guy that's running the old DJ booth over here, running the Run DMC with sucker MCs, right? But you're not here for me and my love for 80s hip hop. You know, you're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, Series 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know. So that way you too can get a pass notice. And we want to get a pass notice because we got tax season. Yeah, we're heading into IRAs. We're in IRA. If we were hunters, this would be duck season.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out on duck season. You know what I mean? This is the time to get out there. Yeah. I'm like, if this is whale watching, we would be watching whales. In case there's some sort of person from PETA. They're like, ooh, they talked about hunting. I'm out of here. No. We love animals. But anyways, not saying that I don't like to eat them though. But I'm just saying is that we're going to get a good education tonight. We're going to learn about these indexes. But first off, let's get to it, Brandy. Let's do this thing. We've had people talk to us about, man, they struggle on seeing these questions. You know what I mean? It's not the fact that you guys don't know this content. And I say it over and over again. And it's something you get so frustrated. And it's crazy because you'll miss a question on something, it has to do with products and risks, let's just say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know, they decide to I call it repainting the whole house. It's like you missed a spot on the eaves, a little spot. You didn't understand a little bit, right? You missed a little, all you needed to do is go back and just do a little touch up. But instead of
underneath, and nobody will see it.
That's not the answer.
Oh.
All you needed to do is do a little touch up with the brush and you'd be done, right?
Yes.
But no, instead you're going to go ahead and repaint the whole entire house because you didn't get it perfect that time. That's bananas.
Don't do that.
No, just touch up that one spot and move on.
Yeah.
Don't repaint the whole dang house.
No.
So if you're a member, you have this option of going into the small videos. We put small videos in the academy. If you're in the academy, even if you're not, and you see what you missed and you see that we have these little videos to help you out, go grab them. They're in there for a reason, guys. So that way you can just get that little touch up. We have 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute little explanations. You can also find those in the SIE study guide. There's great video explanations as you go through that book. If you're a member, you can get that interactive feature. But even if you're not a member, you can still grab that SIE study book or that 6 or the 63. Guys, it's just the stuff you need to know so that way you don't get lost in the weeds. Have you ever read some of this stuff and you're like, dude, did I just read 3 pages on something that could have been summed up in 3 sentences?
Yes.
You ever read something in there on those things and you're just like, dude, all I need to know is 3 sentences? If only there was a book compiled where all it had was the things I just need to know. Oh wait, it does exist. All you got to do is hit the QR code or scan the QR code, hit the links in the chat, grab yourself one of those study guides, and just have the things that are tested, that are nice, easy, and just straight to the dang point. I got only so much in this hard drive at this age. I'm just saying. I'm not even that old. I'm just saying. I know way more things about 80s, television shows than I probably should, I should probably empty that storage, right? And things that I'd rather not admit to knowing. And, I don't want to miss out on that. I don't want to empty the storage banks of that, goodness forbid. But, I need my information small, nice, easy so that I can put it in there, recall it easier. So we got those study guides. We got the academy that's going to be starting up again in March. So what does that mean? This Saturday, we are going to have our review session. That's going to be this Saturday. So if you're a member, we got a review. We'll be talking about that more as we head into Thursday, tomorrow for sure. And look at all the social medias. Plus, you'll be getting those reminders and Patreon and whatnot everywhere. Saturday, we're going to have that review. I don't know if Brandy has that graphic and loaded up.
Hey, forgot it.
Sure did. And but we got a Saturday review coming, and we're just going to go over the stuff you need to know for the exams, techniques. We're going to have Q&A, all that stuff for our members as we wrap up the academy. But if you're doing the 21-day plan, join that too, because that's part of your program and you could be involved. Next week, we're going to have nothing but doing test taking techniques, all those skill sets and strategies, so that way you can go get the dang pass notice.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing all that. We're just tying it all up in the next couple of weeks as members. So if you like to join in for any of that, let's just say you've been studying, you're not even been using us, but you like to join in on review, be a member, join up and get onto that Saturday review. It's only 4 hours. We don't do crazy 12, 14, 18, 20 hour, 36, 90. I don't know how many hours those other people do.
Nobody's got time.
Nobody ain't got time for that. And there isn't enough caffeine to keep you awake.
Nope.
We do 4 hours. We're out by lunchtime. So just know that. Well, if you're in the East Coast, we're done before dinner.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. So that's how we like to keep it, and you guys are gonna have a good time in that as well. We got the Kona Discord. All these great things are there. Scan the QR code, hit the links. We got the 951-290-3077 phone number if you want to ask any questions.
Yes.
All right. Reminder, Kona Academy. We got that going tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing in the SIE.
Accounts.
Day 11, we're going over accounts. And then Series 6.
We're going over complaints.
And 63, we're just going over
Q&A.
Q&A. Just getting those questions and answers.
Yeah.
9:30 a.m. the fun starts in Pacific Standard Time for the SIE, and then the 63 is about 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Look at your local listings on the screen and look and see what time it is. It starts for your time zone.
Yes.
There you go. And also look for that reminder that went out earlier with that Zoom code. If you are a member, it is in there if you are signed up for that. All right. We ready to go?
Yes.
All right. Brandy's got a good one. She couldn't even hold back last night. She started talking about it. If you were on last night, you know that she was going to mention this. There has been a change in the Dow.
There has been a change in the Dow.
So tonight is free content, and we're going to talk about indexes.
Yes. So guys, the Dow Jones, first of all, and we're gonna get into details, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is what I don't know who decided that was going to be the thing that we pay attention to when we're talking about the market. But really, guys, there's only 30 companies. There's only 30 companies that make up the Dow Jones. Okay.
I think it was when they had only 30 people.
Yeah. Whereas the S&P 500, the most popular index, is made up of 500 companies. Right? So you can kind of see that.
And then there's another one.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second. So yes, there is another one. There's a couple of them that you guys need to know, right? But I saw this article as I was cruising along in my pre-installed manufacturing whatever app that you can track stocks that are of interest to you.
By the way, as we talk about these news articles and we talk about stuff that we see, and we're going to talk about not necessarily investments, but this is strictly all educational. Remember, everything that we talk about here is educational. This is no way a research report. This is not in any way to get you to invest in any particular stock, bond, cryptocurrency, or any investment. And always, there's always risk to every investment there is. So you should do your own research, and you should always do a suitability with somebody who is licensed and make sure that you are picking the right things that fit for you. So anything you hear tonight in any way is not of investment advice. I have to say that because Brandy has a Series 65 and 7.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
All right, guys. So the article that I saw was there is going to be a big change to one of the 30 companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That means, guys, Walgreens is out and Amazon is in.
What?
Yes, guys, it's huge. It's actually a huge thing. So Amazon is going to be joining the Dow Jones on February 26, which is they are, you know, $1 trillion company.
It's
Walgreens,
crazy that they're not already on there.
right? Walgreens is out, and then and the Dow Jones has a lot of different averages that they call them, and one of them is the transportation average as well. Uber is replacing JetBlue.
And again, just to remind you that this does not mean that we want you to invest in any of these companies.
No, but guys, look at this. This is the first change since 2020, and before that, it had been even longer. So it's not that the Dow Jones recycles businesses or companies in and out of this thing. It's usually tried and true, 30 companies. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you guys to know is this last box. Well, there's 2 more boxes, but this box right here where it says there isn't a lot of indexed money tied to Dow Industrials, which has more popular recognition than interest from institutional investors. So it's basically a like plaque that these companies can put on their walls saying that we're part of the Dow Jones. But when we talk about index linked annuities, when we talk about index anything, we're not talking about the Dow Jones.
I know that when people refer, there are certain people that refer to retirement plans and insurance. You know, they use life insurance as a retirement plan, and they talk about how they follow an index. This
Yeah.
is not what they're talking about.
No, and guys,
And they confuse people by talking like that.
yes, and life insurance, guys, is exactly what it is called. It's life insurance. Retirement plans are retirement plans. I mean, I don't. Why is that so difficult to understand? I don't know, but whatever.
Do you know what Brandy does if like someone says, I have a retirement plan, she doesn't have the plan, she goes, are you even licensed? Hold on, let me check your broker check.
Oh, who are you?
Oh wait, you're not even licensed to do this. If we were building a house, you're not even be a contracted licensed builder. Would you build a house with somebody who doesn't have their contracting license? Next thing you know, they're gone.
Go sit down.
Exactly.
But yeah. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted just to to bring to your attention, it says Amazon is headed in, Alphabet's Berkshire Hathaway, and Meta, and Nvidia. I don't know how, is that how you say it? Nvidia? That is getting a lot of buzz lately. A lot of buzz lately. Nvidia is getting a lot of buzz. And the reason why is because they're actually at 1.7 trillion. So that is a huge company.
Which one is at 1.7?
Nvidia.
Oh, okay. You know what they are?
They are, and obviously they're a tech firm, but they have a lot to do with open AI.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're going to talk about that on another day.
Okay. All right.
No, but honestly, guys, AI has been in the news. A lot of people use AI. A lot of people should not be using AI. No, I'm just kidding. But AI is huge right now, and so are the technology behind running it. So is the technology behind running it. Okay.
They're only building the T1000.
Yeah, you know, dude. Guys, look.
That's a solid joke if you know what I'm talking about. That was a solid joke.
Guys, it's called science fiction, but science fiction is based in reality. And all I'm saying, have these people not watched, I don't know, Terminator, The Matrix, iRobot? I'm just saying, there's countless movies about how AI takes over and us humans are nothing anymore. Hello, just because we can doesn't mean we should.
All right, let's get back on topic, Brandy. Let's get back on topic, Brandy. Get back on topic.
All right. So somebody mentioned in the chat yesterday the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's the Magnificent Seven? Because I know the movie.
Yes, and
I know the song by The Clash.
And that is where they derive the name. So guys, back in, I want to say,
did they really derive it from that name?
Yes. So back in the early 2000s, have you guys?
Did they save a poor town from evil people?
No.
Oh.
But I don't know. We just got done talking about AI. Okay. So basically, guys, back in like the early 2000s, you know, during the tech boom, there was that guy that yells at the TV a lot, Jim Cramer. He decided to start naming these tech companies Fang, right? And this is Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. Okay. That is what made up FANG. And that's been a very popular term thrown around about like, what's FANG doing? What's FANG doing? Right? They're driving the growth indexes, or that's them, right? Well,
I mean, that is mostly, if you look at those companies, that's where most people spend most of their time and money.
yes. But this guy at JP Morgan decided to call a group of tech stocks the Magnificent Seven. And that Magnificent Seven is Nvidia and Microsoft and Apple and Amazon and Meta and Google and Tesla. Yeah, that's 7. So that's 7. I had to make sure. Now, guys, all this is a group of 7 huge mega cap technology companies that drive the S&P 500. Okay. They have the majority of like the S&P 500 movement. However, there is somebody decided this Round Hill Magnificent 7 ETF. It's an ETF that is invested in these 7 companies. Now, there's speculation out there, just like any other securities that you guys have, is that just because 2023 was a great year for these 7 stocks doesn't mean it's necessarily going to continue, considering there's huge open lawsuits against 2 of those companies on that list.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
She's very excited, right? So, but guys, so if you ever hear in the news Mag 7, Magnificent 7, whatever, it's not an index. FANG is not an index. These 7 stocks are not an index. It's just simply a group of technology securities that move the S&P 500. Okay. So let us talk about the indexes, and you guys can pronounce it indexes or indices.
Indexes?
I
Indices?
looked it up. I Googled it and I said, which one is the proper? It's really up to you. They said there is no proper way.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Right? So an
Tomato, tomato
is usually either a group of securities or it's used as a benchmark. That's something that we can measure against. How are we doing compared to how are they doing? Okay.
Right.
Used as a benchmark. Right. If you guys are into science, it would be your control sample.
Wow.
Deep, huh?
Going science
Deep.
nerd.
I know, huh? All right. So we already talked about the
Your
Dow Jones.
control group.
So we already talked about the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? That's 30 companies, 30 big companies. And then the S&P 500, which we talked about being the top 500 companies, right? The top 500 companies. You guys hear the S&P 500 a lot because this is where our index
I was
funds.
just going to say that's where your index funds.
Mhm.
And I know I've heard annuities tied to that.
Yes, we compare our mutual funds and our ETFs, mutual funds and our ETFs against the S&P all the time.
Yeah, because I've even heard like, well, depending on how the S&P 500 does, you do 5% over that or you're doing under through that. And it's a very, it's like a benchmark for all of those different funds.
Yeah, because again, this is, if you guys want to know what the true like market outlook is, it's the S&P 500. It's the best market outlook.
I mean, I think it's common sense at this point. What do you think is a better, look at a market? 500 companies or 30?
Right. Now, so those are the ones like, guys, if like I would use your pre-installed stock app and I would follow these 2 because this is the red days or the green days.
That pre-installed stock app that comes on every smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. Notice it's the pre-installed one.
Yeah, we can't mention any names.
No. Now, the Russell 2000, especially if you guys are interested in index-linked products, the Russell 2000 is where you guys are going to see this. This is small cap companies. Guess how many small cap companies are in here? Just a random guess, guys. How many companies do you think is in the Russell 2000? Just a shot in the dark there, right? Like nobody's putting it in the chat.
No.
Hint, hint, guys. Yes. Thank you. 2000. Right? It's around 2000 companies that represent the Russell 2000. And then we have the Wilshire. Wilshire. Sounds all important, right? The Wilshire 5000. Basically, this is the broadest index out there. This is the broadest index. This is basically the entire market. Okay. This is like all traded stocks. So, like, if you guys happen to see, like, what would be the broadest, it's not the 500, it's the 5000. Okay. Then this one is, this is a deep cut, but this is one that you guys will see. And this is just the MSCI. Hold on, let me rewrite that. It is the MSCI dash EAFE. Yeah. I don't even know. Now, basically, this is
Is that the technical term?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as I know.
This is a foreign index. Okay. So what this does is take large and mid cap companies. Oh, I should probably talk. I got time. We'll talk about capitalization in 1 second.
I shut up early today, so that way you can go.
Yeah. This is 21 different countries, and this is how they write it. Okay. This is pull it directly from their website. It's Europe, Australasia.
Australasia?
Yes. Australasia and the Far East.
That sounds interesting.
But see, get it?
I got it. Yeah.
EAFE,
Got it.
right? There's no
So I guess
US.
Australasia would be like Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, that whole area.
Yeah. So, but that's the way to fit it into the acronym, I guess. I don't really know. But that's basically it. So when somebody says, I want to compare my foreign investments, or I want to know how my US index is doing against the foreign index, you would compare it to the MSCI.
Now, of course, the question of the night. What do you got to know for these exams?
All of these these 5 things could potentially show up on any one of your exams. The SIE, the 6, the 7, the 65, the 66, is not the 63, probably not the 26, but the ones that when we talk about doing the actual business, or we're testing you on products. So you will probably see the S&P 500 the most, but these are the ones that come from your FINRA outlines.
Yeah, and I will say this goes into your career.
Yes, definitely.
Like this is your business. This is the trade that you're getting into. These are the conversations that will be had. These are going to be part of the things that you write up and compare, and people are going to want to know about. So this never goes away. This is the rudimentary, fundamental ground floor of just understanding what these indexes are and how they kind of compare and how they work.
Exactly. So I would literally go Dow Jones, 30 companies, S&P 500, top 500 companies, Russell 2000, small companies. Like there's 2 S's in Russell, small cap. Wilshire 5000, the biggest. And then the MSCI EAFE, that's a bunch of letters, that's foreign. Like honestly, like that's how I would memorize it.
And if you can't remember that, that's when the flashcards come out and you just know those backwards and forwards. And that's all you really need to know.
Yeah, that's it. So let's talk about market capitalization just real super quick, because we just mentioned it. We keep talking about market cap, right? So let's talk about what that means. We take the current market value of the common stock and we multiply it times the number of outstanding shares. Okay. And when we come up with that, we come up with their capitalization. Capitalization. It's basically when somebody says Elon Musk lost $2 billion today.
Right.
It's because the market value of the stock that he owns in Tesla dropped. That's what they mean, right? So if we say small cap, we're talking about companies that have 2 billion or less in market capitalization. Okay. Mid cap. Oh, and these ones, let me go back real quick. Mid. These ones usually carry more risk because they're smaller. So they're subject to, outside factors more. They usually carry more risk and there's usually less dividends because they're growth companies typically. So they're reinvesting back into themselves. Mid cap is pretty much just exactly what it sounds like. It's in the middle. This is 2 to 10 billion. I don't know if this is tested, but this is definitely quizzed, just so that you guys know. And then we have our wonderful and our beautiful large caps. Our large cap companies, if you guys notice, I wrote it in blue, is also called our blue chip companies. These are companies that have a market capitalization of 10 billion or more. Okay. These ones are usually like pretty recession proof, right? They're the stuff that
they can take a hit.
they can take the hit, right? Sometimes they pay dividends, or we call them historically pay dividends because
Wow. Is
they're
that Greek?
what historically?
That looks like Greek writing. What is that? Oh, okay, got it. I thought it was like a less than or a Z, backward Z there. I don't know. Am I having dyslexia right now?
No.
Oh.
Looks like, oh, I see what it looks like.
I was trying.
You're very literal.
Oh, got it.
And then this is more like news-y. This is more like in the news. We call them mega caps. This is the new one. And mega caps are
Like we got to go +1, don't we?
yes, this is like the 200 billion or more. But let's be real, guys. We are now at a point in our lives where we are actually seeing
The trillion.
we're seeing quite a few companies that have $1 trillion. Microsoft is there, Amazon is there, Apple is there, Nvidia is there, right? There's quite a few companies that are hitting that $1 trillion mark, although Apple was the first company ever to hit the $3 trillion mark.
Yeah, American company.
That's right.
America.
I would have taken any
USA,
of the domestic
USA,
companies to hit
USA.
that first milestone. So it's awesome that it was a US
So what if they get most of their stuff made in the Far East?
company.
Company's still USA.
It counts towards our
USA.
GNP.
USA.
But anyway, so there you guys go. It's two topics that might not be tested directly, but it's definitely stuff you guys need to know for your exam.
I think it makes sense that they have a mega cap now, separate from the blue chip, because look, Coca-Cola is a great company.
Yeah.
They're a blue chip company.
Yeah.
They're not on the same level as like an Apple company, though.
Correct.
There's a huge separation.
Yeah.
But I think that's great. I think that's cool. But there you go. That's the basics of the indexes. There's even the and how they're all separated and whatnot, and market caps, mid cap, small cap, large cap. Guys, these are all things that even if you're not going to get the license, or maybe you do get the license or whatever. This is great education. This is finance. This is how our markets work.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally how the markets work on a basic level. And the more you know how the game is played, the more likely you can play the game and win. Right? And isn't that why we're all here? We want to all learn how to play the game.
Absolutely.
The real game. I know we talk about sports. Look, I love my Dodgers. I love my Niners. I love my teams. But you know what? That ain't the game I want to play. You know what I mean? That's not the game that we're talking about here. That's not the game that sends me checks.
Mm-mm.
Any of those teams win, they never send me a check. They don't send me nothing. They don't give me a thanks for being a fan. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
I would like it though.
But when we play in the other game, I'm just saying, that's the checks that we're talking about.
Heck yeah.
So learn up on this stuff. Learn this stuff. Get yourself educated, right? The way you guys are all doing. And I applaud all of you guys for being here tonight, because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here and get yourself to level up. And look, we're gonna have all this stuff for the academy, all this stuff going on for the 21-day plan.
Mhm.
We got another Studying Brew heading your way tomorrow night. We're gonna have content. We're gonna have techniques. We're gonna show you how to do all that great stuff on how to, apply the knowledge. Look,
Yes.
anybody can teach content, guys, but it's how you apply the knowledge that's important. How you can apply it so you can get a pass notice. How you see those questions, read those questions, and you're able to just get a dang pass notice. That's what we're working towards. We're going to work on that tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, everybody stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you guys so much for being on. We super appreciate you guys. Remember, keep it to the surface level, keep it to the keywords. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.